Hello and welcome. I am Liberty Rose. On this channel, I offer tips and advice for anybody looking to relocate to Costa Rica, as well as encouraging messages for your own emancipation and empowerment. So I'm getting more and more into sharing about my story and my experience here in Costa Rica after having been here for over 2 years. It's really a different experience to come and settle here, really make this your home, than it is to simply travel through. There's so many more challenges, so many more beautiful things to experience. It's just a whole other framework. So on my video about the Southern Zone, I talk about how I began my journey in Santa Teresa on the Nicoya Peninsula. I spent a couple months living there, and ultimately what drove me to Costa Rica to begin with was a desire to live in community. There are so many people that come to Costa Rica with the same desire, and there are a lot of intentional community projects that are popping up all the time, and I anticipate this to only be growing in the future as we realize how important and beneficial it is for us as humans to live together, share resources, and get outside the system as much as we can. Santa Teresa is a great place for anybody looking to surf and visit Costa Rica. To live, it didn't offer me what I was looking for in terms of quality of life and in terms of quality of people that I was looking for. And so after having been there for 2 months, it was recommended to me to move to the Southern Zone where I live now. And so we packed up our things in our Mitsubishi Montero and drove all the way down to the Diamante Valley. The Diamante Valley is an area that is absolutely beautiful. It's a place where there are a lot of medicine communities and people who are looking for intentional communities. There is a certain frequency in the Diamante Valley that is really particular. It is a great place for healing, for anyone who's looking to come to Costa Rica, ground with the earth, and heal. There is an abundance of rivers and waterfalls. It's just beautiful. There's a beautiful valley wall. And so if you're looking just to come to visit in Costa Rica and do some healing work, I highly recommend it. It's around Tinamaste. It's not really on a map. Tinamaste is the entrance to the Diamante Valley. Now, the Diamante Valley was a great place to live. However, personally, it became a lot to handle energetically. It's very much a vortex, and after a while, it got pretty intense for me. But I did spend over a year there. So in the valley, I lived in different places. I rented a beautiful dome house in a retreat center where there was also the most magnificent river. At this time, I really had a lot of healing work to do. And so living here and being able to go to this magnificent river every day was the best medicine I could have asked for at the time. And I was able to shed a lot, to heal a lot, and to evolve a lot. I have to say that living in Costa Rica really changes you as a person. If you are looking to strip down a lot of who you are, your beliefs, your conditioning, your inauthentic versions of you, and come back to your truth, come back to your purity, it's really a land for that. I am very much a different person than I was 2 years ago. I mean, now, of course, I've gone through the portal of motherhood. This has definitely been very transformative for me in many ways. Still though, I'm so much healthier, I'm so much more embodied, I'm so much more grounded, my speech is different. Everything about me has evolved for the better and will continue to do so as I continue to be with the land and honor my path. Before I continue, I want to take a quick moment to mention that I am launching a Patreon channel. I am moving away from offering private consultations and instead am going to be offering all sorts of different things on Patreon. If you would like to get a sneak peek into my life, if you would like to have regular calls with me and learn more about living in Costa Rica, then please do check out the different possibilities on Patreon. I really will appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Now back to my story about the valley. So after living in the dome house for a couple months, I was able to get some house sitting gigs. House sitting is a popular thing in Costa Rica because so many people leave here during the rainy season and they don't want to leave their house untouched because then it's more subject to burglaries or getting damaged in different ways. And so it's possible to live here for free if you are wanting to live here during the months of May, June, July, all the way to end of November, this is when it's the rainy season, and this is when a lot of people leave. I found myself a sweet spot not too far from the Diamante Valley in the mountains, where I had an amazing view of the Diamante Valley wall, a sunrise view. I had the plan on renting this house for a long time, not really knowing what the future held, but feeling really good in the house. Of course, life in Costa Rica is full of opportunities, and you never know what's going to show up next. And 2 months in, we were offered the chance to go and live in a retreat center that was attempting to become a community and to support the co-creation of a community. This retreat center is where I filmed this video, Where I Live in Costa Rica. This was an amazing place to live, so beautiful, and I am so lucky to have had the experience to live there. But that meant that after only 2 months of finally feeling settled in this home that was mine, that I could rent for as long as I wanted, life was like, here you go, here's another opportunity for you. And we really debated going there for a while. What made us ultimately decide, beyond just the fact that this was a great opportunity, was honestly, there was a 5G tower right in front of my house. Yes, there are 5G towers all over the place in Costa Rica. You cannot avoid them, unfortunately. And I got pregnant. And I was like, I don't want to be growing a baby staring at a 5G tower when I can go and live in the jungle, immersed in nature, very far from this harmful technology. And so we decided to go. We spent over 6 months living in this retreat center, where I was also able to support some of the retreats that were taking place and experience the luxury of living in a retreat center. Although it was not a luxurious retreat center, it was very much a simple little cabina, back to nature retreat center. I had a relatively simple house, and it was just very much enjoyment of life. The house that we were renting did not have any walls. We basically just had a roof over our head and an open structure all around us. It was fine for a while, despite the bugs, despite the dirt, despite the challenges that came with having an open house in the jungle. But it was clear that this was not a place for me to give birth. And so eventually we had to move, which brought me to this home. Where I live is very serene. I live in a gated community. It's super quiet. It's super well located. It's just the perfect alchemy. It suits all of my needs for me as a mother, and I have the space to be able to welcome friends and family in my home. So here I am, feeling very grounded and very grateful for the life that I have been able to create. And I would not be living in this house if I had not been extremely patient with my house search, and also just the experience of living here. For after a while, you figure out where you need to go and what suits your needs best. I don't know what the future holds, of course. As I said, Costa Rica is always in a state of flow, and there are always opportunities being presented to us at every corner. So for now, this is where I'm living, and I'm very grateful for it. I am doing my best to make friends. The more grounded you are and the longer you stay in one area, well, then the easier it becomes to make friends that are long lasting. And so this is where I'm putting my energy right now, into developing a connection of sisters around me and building community in that way. We have not at all let go of the vision of building an intentional community. This is very much dear to my heart, and this is very much what I want to build with other mothers, is the village for our children to thrive, and a village that exists outside of the traditional system so that we can create our own self-sufficiency on all levels. This is the vision that I'm holding, this is the vision that my partner's holding, and that so many of us really are holding. And so it's just a matter of time and of the universe working its magic for it all to align, to bring us together so we can thrive as a tribe. Of course, there are so many more things that I could share about my experience after 2 years of living here, but I do like to keep my videos relatively short. So perhaps in the future I will do some lives, whether they are on Patreon or on YouTube, where I can go more into detail about certain challenges I've encountered or beautiful things that I've experienced, and hopefully inspire you to make the journey here if this is something that you are looking to do. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like this video, subscribe to my channel if you like my vibe and the information that I provide. And I always appreciate reading your positive and encouraging comments as well. I will see you very soon in the next video. Take care.